Welcome to the show. If you just joined us, hey, you're welcome. You've missed a lot, but there's still a lot more to come. My name is Kafui King Kaf, and this space was to my right and to my left is His Excellency, the Ambassador of Israel to Ghana, His Excellency Amimel. Shalom to you.
Shalom.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you. I understand you were born on Monday too, so we'll call you Kojo as well.
You can call me Ami.
Nice to meet you here, and welcome to the show. And the last time we saw you on our screens, you were having a chat with Biswa, and the circumstances back then were more somber and more emotional, because you were talking about the Holocaust back in the 30s, 40s. But today we're here for happier reasons, I believe. Should I say congratulations to the people of Israel for celebrating 68 years?
68 years
of independence.
Thank you very, very much.
Congratulations.
It's absolutely a very happy moment that we are independent for 68 years. We are a very old nation. It's not that you have Israel exist for 68 years and that's it. Most of you are Christian, and you know the Bible, and you know the history, and you know that King Saul and King David and King Solomon, that's Israel. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about over 1,000 years of independence, and then about almost 2,000 years of non-independence, and in 1948 we regained our independence. And since then we are building our free new country.
Mm. Indeed. I remember that you told me in that interview that after the Holocaust, it was difficult to talk about it. But today we see news reports, we hear of how that now we've moved away from commemorating the day to celebrating it. I know, for instance, at the embassy, the High Commission yesterday, you had a reception. Has Israel, or should I say the Jews, in as much as you haven't forgiven the Germans, moved past what happened in 1945?
We have to take it over and to continue with our life. Otherwise, we won't be where we are. Mm-hmm. We have to concentrate on the future. We have to remember the past. We have to concentrate in the future. And when we concentrate on the future, then we get the achievements that we got. And then we can help others as well. Because this is one of the things that I would say are the most important for the state of Israel. It's not to take everything for ourselves, but to give from ourselves everything to the others.
I'm curious, here in Ghana we celebrate Independence Day with parades, and then watch a lot of TV, stay at home. We don't do much, there's no work really. It's mainly the parade and the speech by the president. How does Israel celebrate independence?
Wow, it's a long day. First of all, the day starts in the evening before. Because as you know in the Bible, when God created the world, it's written, it was evening, it was day, one day. Mm-hmm. So if it was evening before, the day starts in the evening, not in the day. So in the evening there is a big ceremony with the president and the prime ministers and everybody. And then all along the whole day we have, like today, we have lots of events. For example, there is the national quiz about Bible for youth.
Okay, that's a good idea.
It's a great idea, and and it's international. Means youth are coming from all over the world to compete. They have to know only one thing, two things, Bible and Hebrew.
That's it.
That's it. And they know, it's unbelievable.
So people practice, they prepare for the whole year.
And then they come and do it. The whole year. Okay. One of the years, the son of Prime Minister Netanyahu got second or third place. It was amazing. And you have, the Israel Prize. So you give it on that day, and you have
Israel Prize.
Israel Prize.
Okay.
For special achievements.
Okay.
People who got special achievements
in various
fields. It's like a Nobel Prize, but only for the Israelis But you know, we have over 10 Israelis who achieved already and got the Nobel Prize. So, it helps to identify who are really the Israelis, who are very unique and very special. And it's not only about science and your achievements in science, but also about what you're doing for the society.
Indeed. Okay, I'm going to hold you on that one. I'll get back to you in just a minute. So we're having that conversation with the Israeli ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Ami Melwell. He likes to be referred to as Kojo. Yes, and he's telling us about the independence celebration in Israel. Time now to go around the world in 60 seconds. When we be back, we're going to be asking him the relationship currently between Israel and Palestine, and how indeed Israel has managed to survive the turbulence that they find themselves in. It's GH Today Live on GH1 TV.
The United States will switch on a $800 million missile shield in Romania, part of an umbrella from Greenland to the Azores against Iranian rockets that Russia aims to knock out its nuclear weapons. China and Taiwan have added tourism to their bones of contention since the pro-independence opposition swept to power in January elections, creating accusations about who is to blame for a decline in Chinese visitors to the Self-Ruled Island. A majority of Brazil's Senate indicated it will vote to put President Dilma Rousseff on trial for breaking budget laws, signaling the end of 13 years of rule by the country's leftist Workers' Party. An academic with close ties to the central bank governor says the Bank of Japan will expand its stimulus at one of its next two policy meetings, with first quarter data expected to give policymakers compelling reasons to ease.
Right, thanks for staying with us. We're having a conversation with Israeli ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Ami Kojo Mel, and he's telling us all about the Israeli independence. Thanks for joining us once again. So let's look at now the relationship between Israel and Palestine. We know the turbulence and the back and forth that has happened with the two countries. How would you describe the kind of relationship that your country has with Palestine today?
Well, first of all, it's not with Palestine, because there is no Palestine. It does not exist. Never existed, actually. There are the Palestinians, and they can have their state of Palestine if they would just negotiate with Israel freely, as we asked them to do for many, many years.
Because they don't recognize you, do
they? They don't really recognize us. At the end of the day, when we're celebrating our Independence Day, and they call that day their Nakba Day, the disaster day. What is the disaster? When the UN decided to split the British mandate, to end the British mandate and split it into two countries, Jewish and Arab, not Palestinian, by the way, Arab. The Arabs said no, and 7 armies, Arab armies, entered the British mandate and started war against Israel. And they lost. No, they started the war, they lost. Now it's their disaster. Now, they had opportunity to have in the West Bank and in Gaza their state. In 1948, Israel gained control over West Bank and Gaza only in 1967. What happened in those 19 years? Nobody remembers, nobody wants to remember, because it's not convenient. Anyhow, as we say, we are looking towards the future. And in 1993, we signed an agreement with the Palestinians, with the PLO. And it was not easy, because the PLO, for us, I believe not only for us, is a terror organization. But we signed an agreement and we say, okay, let's go make steps towards independence of the Palestinians. But in the year 2000, when Arafat had to sit and talk with Prime Minister Barak then, he refused to sign the agreement. And later on, when Abu Mazen had discussions with Prime Minister then, Olmert, he refused to sign an agreement. So, you know, Golda Meir once said that the Palestinians never missed an opportunity to miss an opportunity. Now, they complain on what? They complain on the terror, they complain on the incitement. No, they incite children in schools to hate Jews, to hate Israelis, and to kill them. So how can you gain any kind of peace?
Is there an issue of lack of recognition? Because they don't recognize you, you don't recognize them.
No, we recognize them. We
But not as a state.
They are not a state. You know, you cannot have a state that is not a state.
How does Israel negotiate all this turbulence? I must admit, I must imagine that living in your country, you always have a high state of alert. Even though you are celebrating, you are always thinking that anything could happen. Is that how it works?
You are always on a high alert because you want to exist. And if you will be weak, in the Middle East you can be weak only once, and then you won't be. You won't survive. You can see what's going on today in other countries in the Middle East. Syria, Iraq, Libya. Once they were weak, and there was no countries like that. There is no Syria, there is no Iraq, there is no Libya. It's just one big fighting field over there. We don't want to be there. We want to live in peace and prosperity. And we want that this peace and prosperity will spread around the Middle East, also to the Palestinians, and to the Jordanians, and to the Lebanese, and to the Egyptians, and around. We believe that if it will be good for everyone, it will be good for us.
Let us bring you back to Ghana now.
Indeed.
Oh, I know that you love Ghana. Yes, and you're enjoying the peace and all of that. Let's look at relationship with Ghana as well. So the Israeli-Ghana relationship. I know that you've collaborated with us in the area of education, for instance. What other areas have you collaborated with us?
Wow. We are doing every effort to participate in the development of Ghana. We have here quite a lot of Israelis working in Ghana, doing projects on the highest possible level. Not cheap, but when it's not cheap, you can have it for more years. So if you pave roads that are good for 20 years and not for 2 years,
Save money.
it's a matter of I don't know how to say it even.
It lasts longer, it saves you money in the end.
It saves
things
you
like
money,
that. Yeah.
it gives you better life.
Yeah, good quality.
Quality, Israel is quality. That's the synonym of the word Israel. Talk about Israel, you know that you talk about quality. You have so many companies here that are doing so many things in so many fields. There is an Israeli company that built the university learning hospital in GhOne. You have Israeli companies that is dealing with purifying water in the gold mines. You have Israeli companies that is dealing with cyber and fighting against cyber attacks. You name it. Whatever you want, you will find and you will get. That's Israel, and that is the relations that Israel would like to have with Ghana. And I must admit that also politically, we have much better relations today. I think that the visit of Honorable Hannah Tete, Minister of Foreign Affairs, to Israel in March was absolutely a very important visit. It was a peak in our relations. And I believe that in a year or two, we will see also a visit of the President of Ghana to Israel, and high officials from Israel to Ghana.
Okay, so it looks like the relationship is on a strong foundation, and it's growing. By the end of your term, we're not wishing that you leave today or tomorrow, but
I have no intention.
By the end of your term, Mr. Ambassador, what would you look back at and say, okay, these are my achievements? I'm sure you have a goal that you want to get to some level. What are you hoping to achieve by the end of your diplomatic term?
I want to see more visits. As I said, I want to see the visit of the president of Ghana to Israel. I want to see a visit of the president or the prime minister of Israel to Ghana. I want to see a much higher level of economic relations. Because of the crisis in Ghana, the Israeli-Ghana bilateral trade dropped from over $100 million a year to about $40 million
That's
a
60%
year.
off. Wow.
In 2015. I want it to be 1 billion. It won't be, but even if it will be $200 million, $250 million, I'll be very happy. We are establishing now a chamber of business, Ghana-Israel Chamber of Business.
Okay.
Because we think it can help. We will see here more Israeli companies, delegations coming here to learn about Ghana and to understand that Ghana is their gate to West Africa. And we want to see more and more Ghanaian businessmen going on delegations to Israel, and we'll help them.
And let me take us back to, and since we're talking achievements and success stories on the level of education, for instance, the teachers that you reward, are we able to share some success stories on how impactful they've been, to the schools that they serve in? We
have wonderful project that exists, I think, from 2008. It's education, early childhood education project. And we have hundreds of teachers that were trained in Israel or in Ghana by Israelis, and they're working in their schools with completely different methods. We're working on methods, not about the content.
Indeed.
The content should be Ghanaian, but the method should be more, let's say, Israeli or more different.
What is the Israeli way, the Israeli method?
Openness.
More practical.
Children can talk to their teachers and smile and sing and play and learn the letters when they are in the kindergarten. So they will get to first grade and they will know how to read from the very beginning. And in 2015, the best kindergarten teacher in Ghana is an alumni of one of our courses.
Okay.
And this is, I think, a proof that it's working. But we know, we have visited several kindergartens like that, and we saw that the children are keen to learn. And they're not afraid to ask questions. Now, you ask questions, you get answers. You get answers, you know more.
That's it.
Listen, on the occasion of your Independence Day, and you talk about Israelis in Ghana, for the Israelis, or should I say the Israeli community in Ghana, what will be your message to them as you celebrate independence?
Let's continue our common work together for the benefit of Ghana and Israel. Ambassador Amimel, thank you.
Well said.
Very, very much. Happy Independence Day.
Thank you very much.
I want to say something in Hebrew. Toda Rabba.
Medasipa.
Thank you very much. And on that note,